Back here on the Yaffee program. News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN. Appreciate you joining the show. Shouldn't Jimothy the raccoon show up at a Trash Panda game? Wouldn't that make much more sense?
That would make sense. Do you think
Instead
you
of the
can get
Mariners
him?
game?
Yeah.
I don't know. Does he have an agent? Do they have to
find out
book?
if I can contact Jimothy's agent. Is he a
You know, to
raccoon?
get
Do you
him
think
on.
his agent is another raccoon?
No, I don't. I assume it's Tom Cruise.
Tom
his
Cruise,
agent.
the raccoon's agent.
From Jerry Maguire. That's who his agent is. All right, let's end the show. And some people are like, yes, please end this show. Let's end the show like we usually do. We have the Yaffee program rewind. That time of the show where I remind you if you missed any of it live, well, the podcast will be up on the website, WVNN.com, or anywhere you get your podcasts, including iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or the WVNN app. And just so you know, the Rewind is brought to you by the Huntsville Men's Clinic, celebrating their 5-year anniversary. And they're part of a team that's treated Alabama men for ED and low T for almost 15 years. And something's changed this year. They have new options. They've taken care to another level. So I want you to go see what's new today. And it's real treatments based on real science that has worked for over 92% of men who have tried it. It's only $99 for that testosterone and PSA test. You get your numbers in about an hour. So give them a call, 256-368-0333. Or go to the Huntsville Men's Clinic website, huntsvillemensclinic.com, huntsvillemensclinic.com. Make an appointment today. When you do, let them know Yaffee was the one who sent you. All right, so most of the show today, we did talk about the latest in Iran. I'm not sure what the end game here is. I think it's basically to force the Strait open. There is some talk that maybe we could force regime change by arming the resistance. Of course, that would take a while. There's also talk about striking or putting boots on the ground in Karg Island. In fact, Tommy Tuberville said instead of destroying Karg Island, we could occupy it with American boots on the ground. But of course, Trump really doesn't want to do that because the war is already not popular. And so you start putting boots on the ground, it's going to get even less popular. And oil prices have gone up, which is not good for the economy. But I do think if we're going to start a war, we need to finish it. So we need to make sure Iran can no longer control the Strait of Hormuz and no longer be able to get a nuclear weapon. So we talked about that at the beginning of the show. The podcast is up. We also have the Alabama bullet points. So we do that every day. If you missed the bullet points, the podcast of that is up. We also talked about the latest attack against ICE. A nut job in New York decided to detonate an incendiary device outside a federal building, an immigration building, actually, in New York. So Tom Homan kind of reacted to that. Skip down to cut 2 of Tom Homan for me, Bugsy.
Well, look, it's just another example of some idiot that believes the left's talking points. I'm sure if you ask him why he did it, he's going to repeat the talking points you hear Democratic members of Congress say, that sanctuary city mayors like Mondami and Governor Hochul say. ICE isn't a real law enforcement agency. ICE are fascists. ICE needs to be abolished. I see signs all the day at protests, resist ICE. So look, their talking points are making an impact. For that small percentage of really crazy people, they empower them to do something stupid because they believe the left's talking points. So this is not going to stop. I've said it for over a year.
Yeah.
The hateful rhetoric is going to end in bloodshed, and it has.
Yeah.
More than I thought, and it's not over yet. More will happen unless these people shut their mouth and let ICE enforce the laws that they enacted.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, he's exactly right, but it's not going to change. And the radical left and some of the radical right, they believe America is responsible for all the problems in the world. And I keep asking, imagine a world without the U.S. Do you honestly think it would be a better world? All these places that they say, America caused all these problems. They would just be utopias. It would be great places. Now, the Middle East would be just a peaceful, harmonic place. No, nobody thinks that. So we talked about that earlier. The podcast is up. I also gave my review of The Odyssey. I saw it in IMAX yesterday. There are actually people cosplaying for dressing up for the movie, I guess. If you missed the review, the podcast is up. General take, it was good, not great. I think some other Christopher Nolan movies are better. It had some good parts, but also some parts that were kind of frustrating, and it was just too long. I just really thought it needed to be 20 to 30 minutes shorter. You can have a movie that's longer, but if it feels long, it's kind of like The Batman. That movie felt like it was 10 hours long. It was so long. But The Dark Knight's also long, but that's enjoyable. So it just depends on the movie. So we talked about that. We talked a lot about Iran. We have What's Trending as well. If you missed it, the podcast is up. Thanks to Bugsy for producing it today. Thanks to you for listening. The Vince Show is coming up next, and I'll be back tomorrow at the same time. See you then.
It's the Yaffee Program on WVNN.
Hey, I'm Chris Van Vliet. Go behind the scenes and beyond the headlines with the biggest names in pro wrestling and beyond.
Mr. Sandman.
All I ever wanted to be was a pro wrestler. So I got to live my life and make people really happy.
The Heartbreak Kid himself, Shawn Michaels.
Do you think there's anybody better than you were?
I think I was great at what I did, and I think other people were great at what they did as well. Greatness is more a mindset, I think, than anything else.
Mindset, motivation, insight with Chris Van Vliet. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
The United States Soccer Federation presents the U.S. Soccer Podcast.
I'm your host, Megan Klingenberg. One thing I promised you is an all-access pass that you wouldn't get on any other show. And we found out that whoever comes on scores a goal. Burhope, Freeman, Trusty. U.S. Soccer Podcast magic is real, people. We still got plenty of coverage all throughout this World Cup. Okay, let's get into it.
The U.S. Soccer Podcast, presented by Henkel. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.